Welcome everyone, I'm Kimberly Boschman and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the full moon that's occurring December 18th or 19th, 2021, depending on where you live within the world. So before we get into the reading, of course, this is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. So I'm going to be taking a look at the energies for 17-8, 18-9, and 19-1. So we have some absolutely incredible energy being illuminated for this full moon. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal. So I would say to definitely listen, if you haven't already, to the December forecast for your personal life path number that I've posted on my YouTube channel and on my podcast, because I go into extensive detail about the 17-8 energy that is actually the overall energy of December. So that energy is also being highlighted for this full moon. And so we're sort of getting like this mega dose of it. And so I would say go ahead and listen to that December forecast for your own personal life path number, because in the intro, I dive in really, really deeply into that 17-8 energy. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it in this reading. I will give you the highlights, but just FYI. So basically the universe is showering us in this beautiful energy and we're meant to take advantage of it in one way or another. It's definitely there for the taking. So before I dive in fully, I will say, though I am not an astrologer, I am very, very aware that Venus is going retrograde around the time of this full moon. And there are also several points throughout this month and the coming months when Venus will be meeting up with Pluto quite intimately. So I will say the energies of this full moon, in numerology anyway, can feel almost intoxicating at times. So try to keep a level head when it comes to big decisions, big relationship choices, investments even, that could be high stakes. So anything that's high stakes for you or could potentially be high stakes that once you commit, you could potentially be in that commitment for quite some time, I would say be really, really mindful of those decisions and potentially, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying keep a level, like keep your head about you, right? Like make sure you're bringing in the wisdom, the knowledge, the logic into those decisions. So I'll just put that out there. So once this energy subsides and Venus goes direct, which I think Venus goes direct sometime in January, but I think there's like a shadow period until like March. I could be wrong. But it's for a while. It's definitely in Capricorn for a while. I know that much, being a Capricorn sun. But there can be the possibility for buyer's remorse, so to speak. So just take your time, be very aware and mindful of the yes and the no before you commit, especially if this is something that surfaces sort of suddenly, like out of the blue, from nowhere, or it's something that sort of resurfaces from the past for you that was previously sort of toxic, like a previous relationship or something like that suddenly comes up out of the blue, and all of a sudden you have these feelings or these emotions and you're like, well, maybe this could work. Let's go to Vegas and get remarried or whatever. Things can happen under Pluto and Venus influence. And when Venus is retrograde, sometimes we're kind of asked to look at things from the past, things to look at how we show up to relationships, how we show up to ourselves. It's sort of like a reevaluation. And so certain circumstances can come up from the past to assist us in doing that, through that process. And sometimes when Pluto is involved, it can be even more intensified. It can be about power, control, manipulation, obsession, because Pluto is all about death and rebirth and getting us to our higher octave, no matter how challenging that process can be. So not to scare you, not to say don't follow your heart, or any of those things. Definitely go with how you feel, but just know that those feelings could be very, very intensified. And there's a reason for that, but just keep your head about you. Just take your time through whatever it is these decisions are, especially I would say through March. So anything, again, with potential high stakes during this period just needs to be thought through. Follow your heart, but allow your logical mind to have a seat at the table and a say as well. If something amazing comes in for you now, it isn't necessarily too good to be true. That's not what I'm saying. You just want to maintain your balance while deciding how to proceed. So with the 17-8 energy, and again, I'm not going to spend too much time on this energy because, again, I really went into it in great detail for the December videos around this energy. But, again, this energy can be incredibly enchanting, pleasing energy to work with. So just to like sort of offer an overview of what we can expect, especially with this illumination, this 17-8 energy is going to be intensified, again, because we have it through December, now we have it at the full moon. So this is a time when hope and renewed faith in the future and courage to face the difficulties of the present to overcome any obstacles can sort of be highlighted at this time. Compassion, love for all beings, not just humans, but all beings, is definitely heightened under this energy. 17-8 energy is represented by the star card in tarot. So think big wishes, think big dreams, coming true now, good fortune, rewards for efforts put forth previously, opportunities for travel opening up. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be like in this moment, but again, opportunities for travel in the future where you start planning, you start having the idea, you start getting the invitation. And it's travel really to experience life with all of the senses. Yes, it can be work related, but there's this level here about traveling for the experience of it. And if you are somebody who enjoys traveling and enjoys experiencing other cultures and other food and other experiences, this is going to be a time where, again, you can start planning to do some of that, to really immerse yourself, to really feel, these experiences with all of your senses. This is really incredible energy. And this 17-8 energy, again, is a potent reminder of, that we are each the star of our own show, and the light that we shine is a part of the divine, right? And so again, it's like optimism, positive expectations can increase that frequency and are often rewarded under this energy. So this is going to be an energy, again, where like doubts, pessimism, cynicism, and unnecessary negativity will literally only dampen the light and bring sort of a cloud over the possibilities. So again, we have a choice in how we work with this energy, how we deal with it, how we integrate it, how we digest it, and how we transmute it. And so all of these things, we are an active participant in this. The energy is present, but if we don't do anything with it, if we don't welcome it, if we don't embrace it, if we don't work with it, then nothing will come of it for our experience. Yes, life happens, and it's never only, rainbows and sunshine all the time. We all know this, but remember, again, we get to choose how we will show up and participate in any and every experience, good and bad, positive and negative. So this 17-8 energy is sort of bringing in a potent dose of magic for us to embrace, for us to play with, and to enjoy. We can either choose to or we can choose not to. It's entirely up to us and how we work with this energy. So the more that we can sort of delve beneath the superficial irritants into the deeper self, the true I am, the more we tap into the well of love and abundance that is literally always flowing, right? Because again, we are part of the divine. The divine is infinite abundance, infinite love, infinite potential, infinite everything. And so, there is no beginning and there is no end. And so we have access to that. We have access to that energy. We can tap into that beyond the mind, right? Beyond the physical body. We have the possibility for that. And the energy is circulating at this time that's really assisting us in this process and in being able to do that. We just have to be open to it, and we need to be able to flow with it. So a lot kind of comes back to us and our own responsibility in this process, right? Okay, so next we have the energy of the 19-1 being illuminated. And, again, this is just as powerful and beautiful as the energy of the 17-8 energy, right? And so this is, again, we're just being like embraced by all this beautiful, powerful energy at this full moon. I will get in, there is a little bit of sort of more equalizing, sort of balancing energy that's here as well, and I'll talk about that. But with this 19-1 energy, this is for like powerful new beginnings, bold initiations, rewards, recognition, and honors for past production and creative efforts. So again, those efforts that you've put in previously, this isn't necessarily about like, just putting an intention out there and just seeing immediate gratification for that. This is about getting that completion and those rewards for past efforts. So if there's something, again, that you've been very productive with, you've been very creative with, you've been putting a lot of energy into it, a lot of focused energy into it, and your intention behind it, this is going to be an energy where it's like everything kind of comes together to allow this to come to fruition, you know what I mean, in a way that you were hoping that it would come to fruition. So this is really powerful energy in that regard. And again, much like the 17-8 energy, this vibration can carry good fortune, feelings of deep love and appreciation. This can be a time when obstacles are easily overcome. And so again, it's like, it's maybe something that you were struggling with for some time. Suddenly the answer or the solution just sort of falls in your lap, and like it's like that aha moment, like, oh, geez, that seems so easy. How did I miss this? And then you can just kind of take the ball and run with it. New love could enter your life at this time. Again, with Venus retrograde, try to take things slow, and especially with Pluto in the mix, right? So again, you may meet somebody who you just feel an intense attraction towards, or like an intense energetic connection with. And you should, not all the time, but a lot of times when Pluto is, involved in a way that affects sort of your personal planets, especially Venus, a lot of times there's some kind of transformation that's going to happen here. There's some kind of lesson to be learned. And so, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, but it's going to be a roller coaster. So, I just say any new sort of love interest, or a love interest from the past that suddenly appears and piques your interest. I'm not saying don't entertain this person, don't go, don't take a risk, don't, do all those beautiful things. Like, definitely explore whatever enters your life at this time, because it's not by accident. But I would also just reiterate, try to take things slow. Because again, this is going to be a powerful time for new beginnings, where the seeds of intention might have been planted previously. And this is going to be a time where the ground is super fertile to grow. And so again, you just want to make sure that the actions that you're taking, the investments that you're making during this like illumination and during the next several months, you are keeping your head about you and not just throwing caution towards the wind, but that you're very present in making these decisions, right? You're following your heart, but you're also allowing your mind to have a seat at the table. Because again, there is that possibility, that heightened possibility for when the intoxication subsides, when Venus goes direct and is no longer dancing with Pluto so closely, there could be that buyer's remorse. There are no mistakes. There are, no wrong decisions, because everything has something to teach us. We can always learn something from those experiences, but just keep your sort of self-awareness about you. Let's see. So yeah, new insights and new ideas can come in now. But again, if they're high stakes, then again, take your time with them. This energy really carries the vibration of love, happiness, high energy, and prosperity. And I am definitely not saying that those things cannot come to fruition, that they can't come in now. They absolutely can, because we are working with some very potent, again, high energy when it comes to the 19-1 energy and the 17-8 energy. So this is beautiful, beautiful energy to work with. Just make sure that you're staying present and you're taking things slow. So again, this can signify new starts, independence, great opportunities for luck. Your drive and your ambition can run high now. You can feel the energizing life force behind you. Take those big risks. But again, if they're high stakes, big risks, try to be a bit more calculating with those risks. This really is such a positive, beautiful, fulfilling energy. And so don't let it go to waste. Don't be overly cautious to where you're restricting yourself. Play with this energy, enjoy it. Just stay present and keep your wits about you. 19-1 energy is represented by the Sun card in tarot. So again, be open to every opportunity. Try to maintain positive optimism in your own innate abilities. This is not a time to doubt yourself or to feel like you're not worthy or any of those self-defeating thought processes. This is a time to, if it comes in, if it takes you, if it sweeps you up, allow it to. Just keep your head about you. What you bring to the table is the main ingredient here, right? So again, it's going to be about your innate abilities. These opportunities that come in are going to speak to those innate abilities. And so again, don't doubt yourself. Don't second guess yourself. Go with it. What you bring to the table is the main ingredient. That's why this is coming to you, whatever this opportunity is. Yes, there could be something to learn here, but you also have something to contribute here. So tremendous happiness and satisfaction are absolutely possible under this illumination. Absolutely, absolutely. And when you combine that with the 17-8 energy, this is just, again, beautiful, intoxicating energy in the most incredible way. So now, I will say it's very interesting because we then also have sort of the strong illumination of the 18-9 energy. And this is very grounded, more practical energy that is urging for caution and slowing down before fully committing to something or before making those big, bold decisions. So it's interesting. It's almost like the energy, it coincides so beautifully with what's happening in astrology, right? Because with the Venus retrograde, with Pluto, with all those things, it's like, yeah, just use your caution. Don't say no to these things, but just slow down, use your caution, keep your head about you. Of course, always follow your own inner guidance. Always, always, always follow your own inner guidance. It's just always, beautiful to see how the energies are always sort of encouraging balance. We have this really potent, beautiful double energy of the 17-8 and the 19-1. And now we have also this energy of the 18-9 that's sort of trying to balance things out a little bit, which is good. We need this. We need this energy. So this energy can feel very physical, meaning you may feel called to focus more seriously on your physical body health, body, mind, and spirit. You may feel the urge to sort of move your body more, to get out into nature more, to eat a little better, right? To sleep better, and so on. Whatever works for you, not for some unrealistic ideal of beauty or what people tell us beauty is or whatever. This really doesn't have anything to do with beauty. It's about, these actions that actually have the potential to make you feel better, right? To feel good. It's always about how it makes you feel. That's all that really matters. If it makes you feel bad, don't do it. Don't continue to do it. If it makes you feel good, genuinely good, then do it. Incorporate more of that. Allow yourself to do that, right? Without judgment, without shame. Even if others don't understand it, they don't need to. You could feel called under this energy to get more organized, right? To get those areas of your life that feel a bit chaotic or disheveled, to get those areas in line, to get them a little bit more where it feels less chaotic and less disheveled, right? And this can include clearing out the clutter of relationships, clearing out the clutter of faulty belief systems, or even, again, like the actual physical cluttered living spaces. So if you have a garage or a closet or a room that is just sort of collecting clutter and creating that feeling of chaos, like when you walk into that area and you're like, oh, this is going to be a time where you can sort of do some decluttering and, ask yourself, where does my energy feel scattered? Because this is going to be an opportunity to sort of refocus, to bring those bunnies back into the cage and get them settled. Dreams can be very, very active during this time as well. So of course, pay attention to what comes up for you through those dreams, including your daydreams. Daydreams are something that we often overlook. We see daydreams sometimes as like a distraction or something that keeps us from being productive. But honestly, so much can come through daydreams. It's like where your mind goes when you are sort of zoning out, right? Like what you keep thinking about, what keeps showing up. What is it that you're daydreaming about? Your daydreams are just as important as your night dreams, right? When you're sleeping. The dreams you have while you're awake are very important. It's like your soul trying to get your attention from the mundane, from the things that you need to zone out from. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's bringing your attention to something. And so pay attention to your daydreams. They're not, they're sort of put in this like bad light, but daydreams are it's like our soul speaking to us and getting our attention, trying to get our attention. So pay attention to the daydreams as well. Write them down and, they might not make sense in the moment, but write them down and you may find that you get some very clear understanding of next steps and what your soul actually desires. So again, is there a daydream that you keep having? If so, write it down and explore it further. Because there's potentially something there for you. There's potentially a message there for you. Same thing, of course, with the night dreams. So the energy of the 18-9 really highlights endings and using caution before embarking on the next big adventure. You will go on the next adventure, right? We always do. But first, make sure you have your ducks in a row or as close to a row as possible before setting out on this next big adventure. Getting things in order and clearing the clutter first will allow you to see the next steps much more clearly. So order over chaos will assist us greatly here. And that's really what this energy is trying to assist us with, trying to help us with, is to, again, clear the clutter, to be sort of cautious, to use caution, not to hinder us, not to hold us back, not to keep us confined or in our comfort zone, but just a healthy level of caution, right? That's what we're being asked to use here. So just again, to kind of balance out those more intoxicating, sort of throw caution to the wind energies that we also have illuminated. So again, the energies are there for us to work with. They're encouraging us to work with them. They're here for us in a positive way, but it's of course what we do with them. So hopefully this will be a very insightful and interesting full moon. I'm sure it will be, but yeah, so hopefully this is helpful in your journey forward and as this full moon illuminates your situation and your experience. So until next time, thank you all for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.